Hey guys, welcome back for another video. I wanted to do a video on something that is super fun and super important to our family, and that is road trips. So I have on my Life is Better in the Mountains shirt for this video. We do go to Florida sometimes. We have family there and we've done Disney and whatnot, and we do love the beach. But our hearts are kind of in the mountains, and I could do a ton of videos, which I hope to do if I can gather all my thoughts and organize them. I of course have my list, but if I could gather all of my thoughts and organize them into how I can present everything, then I'll do that. But my first video on road tripping is kind of like the road trip necessities. So we have been going on road trips since my third kiddo was 6 months old. So she just turned 6 last month. We had a regular minivan, and we're like, hey, this is great. This is going to be great for road trips. And when we got that, we were like, okay, this obviously is going to work better for our family. And then we got our bus right before our 5th kiddo was born. So we've had that for about, let's see, he'll be 3, so almost 3 years. That changed our life. It's the NV passenger van. I'm going to do a walkthrough kind of tour-ish on that van soon. But in the meantime, it seats 12. You can take seats out, and so that helps a lot with, so many people traveling and whatnot. But I wanted to kind of list a few things or name a few things that I can remember that are pretty much, I think, not hacks necessarily, but items that we could not live without on road trips. Typically, we go to Colorado. The last time we went to, this past summer, we went to Colorado and Wyoming. So they were pretty long. We have every age range. Like I said, my oldest is 11 and it goes all the way down to 3 months. I was pregnant with my 3-month-old at our last road trip. So we had one less baby, but for the most part, all this is going to stay the same. I alter based on, the kids' ages and whether or not they're potty training and so forth. So anyway, my first thing is to get buckets or containers from the dollar store. So when we go on road trips, and this is kind of pre-COVID because I'll get to that in a minute, but pre-COVID we would, stop at very questionable places to go to the bathroom if somebody had to go to the bathroom. And that is just so gross to me, to have your blankets and everything where your shoes are stepping in this random gas station in this random city in the middle of nowhere. So from the very beginning, I pretty much said, we're going to have a bucket of shoes, and that's going to stay by the door of the van or in the front if I can fit it, and all of our shoes will go in there. Along with that, I bring Lysol so I can spray Lysol. Y'all might think that is super OCD, but it just makes me feel better. So I bring Lysol to spray shoes. I definitely bring a box or something that I can throw away, so something from the dollar store, to put all of our shoes in. They do not step in the van or the van with dirty shoes. It just grosses me out. With blankets and pillows on the ground, I just can't do it. So my number one thing, if you are like me and somewhat OCD about that kind of thing, get yourself a bucket from the dollar store. Put your shoes in there. I will take my shoes off and just leave them, on the floorboard in the front seat, or if I'm driving, I'll wear them obviously. But for the kids' shoes, a huge deal. I recently found these pop-up containers on Amazon, and I use those. They can fold down, so for storage, if you're not using them in, at your house. If you are using them, you can use it for toiletries. So I put paper towels in there. Paper towels, I put HEB bags, grocery bags for diapers and things like that. I also use that for snacks. So I used to have just like big Tupperware containers and things were falling out and it was just a mess when kids would try and go and get snacks. On a side note, typically my kids are not allowed to eat in this car. The only time they are allowed to eat in the car, other than have like water or something, is if we are road tripping. That is it. Because when we get home, it's a disaster. Like that's another OCD thing of mine. I just can't with all the crumbs and all the food in the van, just all the time. So that is the only time that we allow them to eat in the car. So I discovered these pop-up containers, and so we will get pop-up containers and you can zip it and it's easy to kind of, move around without everything falling out. I don't know if I can link things at the bottom or make a note of what these things are. If I can, I will put these things in the description box, or at least list them for what they are. I pretty much purchase everything on Amazon aside from the containers that I use for the shoes. I also use containers for I used to use containers for the kids. They would each get a container and put their stuff in. Now I do backpacks. So each kid gets a backpack. You fit what you can in there and that's it. I am an overpacker. And so each time my husband says, no, we're not doing this again. Not doing this again. You cannot go to the dollar store and get all the stuff because half the stuff doesn't even get used because they forget they have it. So I literally give them one backpack, stick your stuff in there. You get one bag, like a drawstring bag. You can put your stuffed animals in there and that's it. That's all you get. You cannot bring 25 stuffed animals. You can't do it. So that is a big thing for me. You get your backpack, you put your stuff in there, what you want. If it doesn't fit, you need to make some decisions. One other thing that we do, which I started this last time because our fourth kiddo was potty trained, but I was still a little nervous about going like 15 hours in the car and not wanting to stop places. There's my cat again. And so I bought a small potty, like a toddler potty, but the kind of a bigger one that I could find, or maybe I just told myself looked bigger, but it had a lid and it came with liners. And so I would double line it every time. So if somebody had to go to the bathroom, okay, who else needs to go? And then I would toss those liners. So you don't have to worry about a gross potty that you're dealing with. I was pregnant at the time. I had to go a lot. I would put myself on that little potty and go if I had to go that bad and we were in the middle of nowhere. So we could literally take that potty and put it behind the the back seats and have your own little preps. My bigger kids, we would all get out of the car so they could go, and then you just toss the liners. It was a lifesaver. We did not stop one time. If you have potty trainers, or even if you have older kids that can, hey, you can sit on this potty for 5 seconds to go to the bathroom so we don't have to stop. It's perfect. So I plan on using that. That was the first time we used it, was this last summer. I plan on using that. Because I just think it's great. You either can sit on the potty, or that's really your only choice because we're not stopping right now. Okay, so entertainment. We typically would go to the library, get a bunch of DVDs. This way we're not buying a lot of DVDs, but they get to rent, quite a few of them. In our old van, we had the one that was on the ceiling. This van, that's not an option. I guess you could put it in there, but it's not an option right now. So I bought 2 portable DVDs. We have 1, 2, 3 row. Well, our row, the front row, and then 2, 3, and 4. So it seats 12 total. So we had 2 DVD players, and some would have to just alternate. So the older kids would have to sit in the back, and then the middle kids would get one. Also, the little kids were too young for that. So we had 2, and then we had them hooked just to the back of the seat so they could watch whatever, but they had to be in agreement that this is what we're watching, because there was always at least 2 kids watching one DVD player. So that helped a lot too. Entertainment, DVD player, pads for car seats. So if you have a toddler or even an infant, that helps tremendously with leaks. So you can get the disposable like changing pads, and you can put those right in there. And that helps too, just in case, you know, I can't even tell you how many times I've had a kid leak in the car seat that I've had to have like a disposable or wash the car seat cover over and over again. And if you don't have a place that you can do that, you know, at your destination, laundry or whatnot, then you're stuck with a gross car seat for the rest of the trip. Which brings me on to my next thing, dirty clothes. So we typically don't do wash in the hotel at all. If one trip we were in a condo with some family and we did do wash, but I still bought these big drawstring bags made for laundry. And that is where we put all of our dirty clothes. The garbage bag thing did not work for us. We have so many people, it just did not work. So I got a set of 2, which even now I could use more than that. So I will probably get more than that. And we just keep, every day we'd stick our dirty clothes in there. So when we got home, I could just take everything out of those 2 bags, and that's it. I cannot stand the thought of putting dirty clothes back in my suitcase. So that wasn't an option either. So those were a lifesaver. One other thing that I really made use of was an atlas. It's kind of like old-timey, old-fashioned, I don't know. But there are so many things on an atlas that you can look at that's not on your phone, like on Google Maps, that you can look and see all these neat little things. There's so many things that we've seen on an atlas as we're driving and as I'm following, you know, how much farther we have, and just little things that you might not know are there that you can stop. I'm always big on stopping whenever we can to see something interesting that we wouldn't normally see. I try and make the most out of road trips, and I think that's why I love it so much, because we can do so many different things and go to so many different places and see so many things that maybe you wouldn't know about had you not had an atlas. And it's just cool to look at. Like, I don't know, I enjoy looking at it. Seatbelt covers. So like where the older kids can nap that aren't in a car seat anymore. I got those, I think I got those off Amazon too, the car seats. That even worked for me. So you can have your pillow, you can have your blanket, the seatbelt cover. You can just stick on their Velcros, and it really worked for my older kids, you know, who don't have anything to lean up against necessarily. So also a cool investment. Desk trays. So they each had their own that I bought, like a little animal desk tray that they enjoyed using. They can use it at home too, for schoolwork and stuff, but that helped when they were coloring, things like that. Some kind of tray that they can use and keep their stuff in. We also had these like hanging bags, I guess, that you would put over the car seat or the seat in front of you that hung down. And so the kids could put things in there, which would help to, you know, alleviate some of that mess and just clutter throughout the car. So that they could put their books in, or coloring books, or a thing of crayons in there. And so it had a place. Everything has a place. I will do a different one for like hiking specifically, because I have quite a few things that I like to bring, knowing that we're going to hike or knowing that we're going to be eating like in an open area or, you know, mountain area. Quite a few little things that I like to bring, or hacks that I have that kind of just help make life easier. If you are able to have a rack on the top of your car, do that for luggage. We had to put the bars on the top of the car, so we had to buy those and put those on separately, and then buy the container separately, because even though we have a large car and we took seats out when we go places, we still have a lot of luggage. And so having one of those when you go on road trips, it frees up so much room, so you don't have to worry about that. I will also do a video on how I pack. Some people might think I go like that's crazy, like that's crazy talk. You do not do Ziploc bags for all your kids. Yes, I do. It just makes, like I said, anything that makes life easier. I don't care if I have to do a lot of pre-planning and a lot of work beforehand. If it makes my life easier while I'm on the trip, or my husband's life easier while we're on the trip, then I'm going to do it. So, oh well. I wanted to kind of just name a few things that we bring specifically, and kind of those things that I can't live without, especially if you have a lot of kids that you're traveling with. And so I'll try and do a few more different videos on how I specifically get ready for road trips, and how much time, how much prep, etc. And then specifically going to the mountains. So like I said, we do go to Colorado, and so I try and accommodate and think of things that we will need. We do a lot of hiking. And so with 7 kids, though we have had 6 the last trip, it takes a lot of planning sometimes. And I have my checklists and everything. That will probably be part of the planning video of how I plan what to pack, because I have to have checklists. I'm a checklist person. Like, I have to have, it's almost like a brain dump, have it on paper and then check it off and make sure that everything is on there. It just works best for me. So anyway, hope this was informative. This is one of many road trip videos that I hope to film, because it's a part of our life. We love doing it. And none of my kids have ever been on a plane, because it's expensive, obviously, but this just, it's long days, but it's worth it, because there's so much that you can see and so much that you can get out of road trips. It's just incredible. So anyway, hope this was informative, and I look forward to sharing more. And once I wrap my brain around everything that I need to get out, and information to give, I will do that. And I will be doing a van bus tour, NB passenger van tour, shortly. All right, guys, take care.